3 years ago, everyone at the Touched woke up with a power.
The Touched are rewriting the rules of reality. I want them under control. Even if it requires a bloodletting.
I'm kind of wondering how you guys sort of think that Amalia and Penance found each other, met each other, and why do you think that they built this bond? And maybe you can take this one.
Yeah, well, there was a scene that was written where Amalia and Penance met. It's since changed. So we've yet to find out what the actual circumstances around the meeting are, but we do know it's 3 years previous to where we meet them. I think that's quite interesting because it's in some ways a very new friendship. It's only 3 years old, but it is also so profoundly deep, and it's so there's so much love there and just an exceptional amount of trust and loyalty. And I think that maybe that's a lovely thing, that it's not how long you've known someone, it's the quality of the person and the relationship that you have and share. So it's one of my favorite things about the show as well, is their relationship, because I love Laura Donnelly and I love to work with her, and sorry, I'm embarrassing. And I just love every time that we have a scene together. And I think maybe me and Laura share that quickness of friendship but depth of a bond, or maybe I'm projecting upon you.
Yeah, what's your second name?
Skelly.
Yeah.
Skelly. I do find the relationship is quite exceptional but very relatable, and I feel that with Laura herself.
I mean, 3 years seems like a quick time to get together a group of women to create an orphanage, to do everything all at once. But it is sort of being birthed of, oh shoot, we're in trouble, we need to come together. And that's often when really good friendships also happen too, is like in crisis.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning of episode 1, we sort of see these women before the incident, before they were touched. And it's sort of, I'm wondering if you think that their powers, their abilities are plays on who they were before. Like when we see Penance, she's sort of fixing something, and then it turns out that, oh, now she can see electricity and see where things go, and she's this amazing inventor. Like, how do you think that their powers sort of manifested themselves from who they were before? Laura, maybe you can take this one.
Yeah, I think there certainly is an element of that. And that runs through many of the Touched characters. I don't know that it's universal among them, but it does seem to be the way a lot of them have gone. And so similarly, that may give us ideas into backstories of characters that we don't know so well yet. I think as these first 6 episodes go on, we find out much more about Amalia's backstory, and there is a lot there yet to still even be discovered after the 6. I don't know everything about her backstory, but episode 6 in particular wraps up a lot of the questions that we have around who these people were just before we've come to meet them. And all of those answers are there, and I think it's in a really satisfying way that we can leave viewers, despite only leaving this halfway through a first season. We will be giving a lot of the answers to the questions that people will have about these characters.
Yeah, I've seen the first 4. I don't want to give too much away, but like even 4, you sort of can see a little more than you do in episode 1, like especially with Amalia.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you have a sense of why Amalia is so, as much as you can say, why Amalia is so guarded? Like, it seems like she could have something going with the doctor, or, but she's not letting herself have good things in her life, really.
Yeah, I have a very strong sense of why that is. And I think part of it is her personality. It's her natural way of being, but a lot of it rests in her backstory and where she's come from and the things that she's experienced. And again, those are questions that do get answered by the time we finish episode 6. but probably nothing that I can talk about without spoiling it.
Totally okay. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the little car that you guys drive. Was it just like a cool go-kart? Like, were you really zipping around in that thing? Like, what's the deal?
Well, often they don't trust me to zip around in that little guy when there's large crowds of people, or sometimes when the Donnelly herself resides in that vehicle. Yeah, my little car, it's actually built from scratch, which is amazing. I felt like James Bond. And it's electric, so I don't have a driver's license between you and I and the entire world. Yeah, so they often get a stunt driver, Jessica Hawkins, who's an actual formula racer. Hilarious. Like, she's just so overqualified to make me look cool. So yeah, I used to practice, because I don't have a driver's license. They made me practice in a golf cart zapping around the studio's car park, and so a lot of people were jumping out of the way, shall we say, again. But yeah, I love my little beep beep. It's so cool. I did feel a bit betrayed when I saw Amalia roll in episode 4 with it. I was like, I did not give her the keys. Don't recall that. It's kind of like someone borrowing, like your sister borrowing a dress, and you're like, that didn't say that you could. Anyway, but yeah, my little car is the coolest. It's the talk of the town.
It goes pretty fast too.
It does. That's where the danger is with me at the wheel. It's
you're that low to the ground too. Like, going 20 miles an hour seems like you're going 1,000 miles an hour.
When dropped, we dropped out of, we dropped, like, how much was it? Like 6 feet, Anne, maybe more. Whenever we had to do the first moment you see the car.
Was that 6 feet? No, it wasn't.
Well, it certainly felt like it in the back of my head.
My whiplash speaks.
Because we were on like kind of a roller coaster type track, and we had to then suddenly drop in the way that the car does drop onto the ground, and that has quite the shock effect up through your body whenever that happens.
Our first response cannot be hate. We'll be lined up in the streets.
I want the wicked punished and the good protected. You often engage in public violence.
I know where I am in a fight because I see glimpses of the future.
Something happened.